guys, Silverlord here, back again with another review, and today we are finally taking a look at the Horsemen Studios Mythic Legion's Reinforcements Templar Knight Legion Builder. And before we get into it, let us first take a look-see at both the front and the back of the packaging. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now before we get into the meat and taters of this review, the Templar Knight Legion Builder does come with a plethora of accessories. First up, the Templar Knight does include the standard broadsword, an incredibly long halberd, a shield emblazoned with a red cross, as well as this incredibly massive standard. I believe that's what it's called. Basically a medieval flagpole. Now it's worth noting that you can attach this piece to make it even longer, or if you want to spruce it up a bit, it does have a couple of ports at the top of the main standard piece to attach wings and horns, stuff you typically attach to helmets. And last but certainly not least, the Templar Knight does include a pair of shoulder pauldrons, a smaller collar piece which is kind of hidden by his big old bucket head right now, and a belt, which it should be worth noting that you can store his broadsword or his shield in said belt. So with that being said, let's move on now to the aesthetics and articulation. Taking a closer look at the Templar Knight, while we have him stripped down here, this is how he comes in packaging, so this is how we're going to be taking a look at him for the majority of this review. I will gear him up before size comparisons, much like I did with Sir Gerard the other day. Check that video out if you haven't already. But for now, we're going to leave him kind of bare bones, just so we can get a closer look at all the details that are on the base figure, which, if you're familiar with this guy, he's been released a few times already. The last time he had a little bit more gold paint applications here and there, but this is fine. He's got the gold cross on the helmet. That's all that really matters to me. His silver seems a bit darker than that previous one, but I could be wrong on that because I do not have that figure to compare him to. Just based off of the one other Templar character I have, Delphina of Etheros, his silver seems a little bit closer to a gunmetal than hers. But that being said, this is a figure I have wanted for quite some time, and he does not disappoint. I absolutely love this guy. He is awesome. I know I probably say that about a lot of Mythic Legions too, how I absolutely love them, but it's an awesome line, man. Can't help it. But as far as articulation goes, his helmet, his bucket head, whatever you want to call it, can look up and down. Does kind of get stuck on the collar there, but you can work it out. Does have some tilt, looks side to side. Shoulders go out to the side. Pretty far, right angle to the body, not too shabby. Back down, forward and back. He's got a single joint at the elbow, swivel at the elbow, swivel at the gauntlet, hinge at the wrist, swivel at the wrist. He's got the ball joint in the waist here, or the torso, whatever you want to call it, as well as a waist swivel. I will say the waist swivels this time around seem a bit loose, so maybe tighten that up a bit with some Elmer's glue if that bugs you. It's not too bad. I mean, they are Legion builders, so it doesn't bug me that much. It's not like they're named characters I'm going to be doing more with, ironically. His hips kick out to the side, kick down, forward, back. He's got a thigh cut, single joint at the knee, swivel at the knee, swivel at the foot, hinge in the foot, and a rocker with peg holes at the bottom of the feet for the display stand he does not come with. But much like I said before in the Sir Gerard video, you can always throw a McFarlane stand on these guys. They do work really, really well. I will say I love the red shade of red they use for the cross. Kind of wish this went all the way down to the bottom here, but I don't remember if it does that on Delphina or not. I just think it looks a little better when it goes all the way down to the bottom of the loincloth piece. Which would be interesting to see if they ever give them soft goods tunics. That's something I didn't mention with Sir Gerard. I'd be curious to see if they ever go the route of soft goods tunics. Because I think that would give them a even more premium look than they already have. And it would cover this back hole here. The shoulder pauldron holes I don't mind because I always have shoulder pauldrons on my figures, but that little adapter port, I wish they made a plug or something for that, other than the adapters themselves. And it's also worth noting that the little spike on his helmet is a separate piece that you can pull out with a little bit of elbow grease. There you go. You can pop that out pretty easy and plug it right back in. So if you had a plume, you could always swap that on and have, what is it, Sir Godfrey? Jeffrey, whatever his name is. The actual named Templar Knight. I guess the leader of the Templar Knights. It's either him or Delphina, I'm not sure. I can't keep track of the lore with this line because it's so extensive now. I remember when this line only had like a few dozen characters, and now it's like probably over 200 now, huh? But with that being said, let's get this guy geared up, take a closer look at some size comparisons. First up, here is our Templar Knight Legion builder next to a couple other Templar Knights, Delphina of Etheros and Sir Gerard. Next up, here he is alongside a couple other Knight characters, Magnus and Sir Owain. And last but certainly not least, we have our two regulars, Brother Mandibulus and the K11 Spawn, who's shorter by a spike. You almost had him today, buddy, but not quite. So with that being said, time to wrap things up. Some final thoughts. Overall, what more can I say about this figure that it absolutely 100%, no questions asked, exceeded my expectations. This has kind of been a grail item for me from this line for quite some time now. I missed out on him during an in-stock sale because of gosh darn cart jackers. And just the fact that the website that the Four Horsemen used to sell these guys on wasn't that great, so I had a lot of crashing issues, but that has all since been resolved. And this recent, quote-unquote recent that is, it's been a while since it's happened, but this quote-unquote recent reinforcements in stock sale, I gotta give it a good old, big old chef's kiss, because it went 100% smoothly, and I acquired this guy no problems, no questions asked, and he absolutely delivers. I love this figure. This guy's awesome. I wouldn't say go out of your way to try and get a hold of him, though. I would say hold out and see if they are going to offer him up again in a future in-stock sale. I think they plan on replenishing the stock for the Legion builders, for those of you who may have missed out or just didn't have the cash at the time, because this sale did happen right after the Poxus pre-order, so kind of a double whammy from good old Four Horsemen. I like their stuff, but I wish they'd space things out just a little bit more. I know that's not convenient, but it'd be a little bit more convenient for my wallet, and I'm sure some of you guys would appreciate that as well. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you are so inclined, please don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you know whenever I upload more reviews like this one. If you haven't already, hit me up on Instagram at Overlord Productions, and check out the Mythic Legions Cabal over on Facebook. Be a part of the Mythic Legions community, but as always, keep the comments civil, because the world sucks enough as it is. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later.